Aye, everyone. Neil Razor Ruddock. Keep supporting Andy and Jace on the West Ham Reunited channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to the West Ham Reunited channel. Keep supporting Andy and Jace. Aye, we are massive. Haven't you irons? Subscribe. West Ham Reunited channel. Aye.
We are live. I am back again on West Ham Reunited. Hope everyone is keeping safe and well. But most importantly, we're here. Actually, gents, it is just under 13 hours, 13 and a bit hours time. I'll be there in the London Stadium to welcome our rivals. You call them London rivals. Chelsea, who are on fine form. But most importantly, we've got another person. I said he would join. Here he is. It's
Hello,
Matt
boys.
from Mexico, but before that, we would like to interview James from E20 Zone TV. We've seen a lot of each other the last few days, James, as well.
Yeah, finding out more over Twitter at all.
I know. It's small world, isn't it? And of course, we've got Darren, Chelsea fan, to come and give us all the inside knowledge on what to expect tomorrow. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, we just had a really great discussion on James's channel, and you guys know your stuff, you're Balance fans, and I'm sure Matt is as well. So, yeah, love the West Ham channels. Seem to be very good. Treat me well.
Yeah. Matt, the weather looks rubbish. You look like you're a bit cold.
It's only 35 today, mate, so suffering a bit. I need to put on a jumper in a minute.
Oh, God. Yeah, talk about rub it in. But you're good though, Matt, yeah?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Not bad. We've got Steve in the chat. Hope you are well. So, Darren, we move on. We move on to the game tomorrow. 12:30 games, early kickoff. For you boys, it's about making a statement, isn't it? Getting them points on the board and letting the others chase you, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what the weekend is. It's about making a big mark on the rest of the teams. So they have something else to play for in their game. And if we lose the early kickoff game, then the other team's a bit more comfortable. They know it's in their hands. They can go out and play their football, be a bit more secure, play some nice stuff. And they're all playing on Saturday. So if we go off and get a great win early on in the day, it really puts pressure on our rivals to get. Because if they don't, Liverpool will be 5 points behind and Man City will be 4 points behind in a tough winter period. So, yeah, it's important to 12:30 kickoff. I'm not a fan of the early kickoff personally. Traveling fans, I don't think it's good for players to have to eat pasta at like 9 in the morning. I don't really get all of that. And
I think I could eat pasta at like 9 o'clock.
200k a week.
Yeah. No. But of course, Matt, we're going to ask you because I've sort of we've already discussed it on James's show. What do you think of Chelsea, mate? Like as the team.
What do I think of Chelsea this year, or what do I think of Chelsea in general? Because I think
no. I think this year, obviously, they're right up there.
Yeah,
it's going to be a tough game tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, that the pieces are starting to fit into the right places. With Chelsea this year. I mean, I still think that they're just one or two players away from possibly dominating like Liverpool-esque. I mean, they've got the potential without a doubt. I mean, you've got quality way throughout the whole team. A couple of people that maybe need to live up to their price tags. But like with most people, you got to give them a break, because especially as Chelsea, I don't think that the few guys who are a little bit expensive are going to be like a Shevchenko or Fernando Torres in their moment, that didn't live up to their price tag. I think they're a bit more adaptable to the Premier League, and I think they'll do well. Is it a tough game? Oh, probably one of the toughest. I'd probably even say it's tougher than Liverpool right now. But you know what? I just hope we've got that point. We've got that little bit of extra fire in our bellies with a point to prove. I'm really hoping for an absolutely blinding game from Zuma. A real point to prove he has, especially after a couple of lower level performances than we've been used to him. Not that he's been bad, but he's not been up to it. And I'm hoping that he can keep them at bay tomorrow. But you know what, mate? Like I'm sure we all would take a draw now.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. James, Matt just sort of touched on it, and obviously mentioning Zuma. Obviously, I've put the two players who I've put on my thumbnail is Zuma and Rudiger. Do you reckon they're very similar in like the players? Do you reckon they're the same? You don't really get many old school centre halves no more, do you? That's what they sort of remind me of. Do you sort of agree on that?
Yeah. Rudiger's a different player, mate. I remember many years ago when we won 3-2, as Tyrone said on my channel. And basically, Rudiger's all over the place. And this year, he's turned into a completely different player. I think Christensen's a good player. I must admit, he don't really get a lot of mention. He goes under the radar quite a lot. But I think they've just got a very well-balanced backline. Like, they got everything's right, everything works right. And, yeah, like... I think Thiago Silva, I know he don't play all the time, but having that man in there, you're going to learn, ain't you? Let's be honest.
Definitely. Taryn, do you reckon obviously you've had Zuma on your books. I know you sort of mentioned it on James's channel earlier. Do you reckon you'll prefer playing against the Mikel Antonio tomorrow?
Yeah, I think with do you mean Rudiger up against Antonio?
Yeah,
not Zuma?
Yeah.
Rudiger loves a challenge. That's what really sparks him up to play well. He likes play up against a striker that will challenge him because he'll go early on. He'll kind of smash the ball out, smash the play early on, and he'll mark his authority on the game. And you guys mentioned it on James's channel earlier, that game, the 3-2. And Rudiger was a shadow of the player he is now, playing in the 4 at the back. The last goal, he let Yarmolenko onto his left foot for an easy finish to score. But now he's become somehow one of the best defenders in Europe in terms of dominating. He doesn't really struggle against any type of player, whether that's a quick, tricky player, whether that's a physical player, whether that's a tall player, whether that's just someone who's really technical. He won't really struggle against any kind of challenge right now. It's just about if the other players around him can support him enough to get the best out of him. Because Alonso didn't do it in the Watford game. He really put him under the bus. Loftus-Cheek and Sal really did help him a lot. But if Rudiger is in a system around him that makes him feel comfortable, he's one of the best defenders in Europe. He has everything you need, and I just hope he can sign them dotted lines so we can keep him for next season as well.
Yeah. You're not on your own, mate. We've got Simon. He's a good follower of us. We've become good friends, and he's a Chelsea fan. So you're not outnumbered. Simon, DM me if you want to come on. It'd be good to actually have you on if you fancy it. Let us know. Just drop me a message and I'll add you on. He was at the Chelsea annual lunch today.
I have no clue what that is, but probably sounds fancy. So yeah, love to be there.
Yeah. Simon's a bit of a flash git, to be honest.
Yeah, but look at Simon's next comment. He says,
"Yeah,
they can't play Sale tomorrow."
Oh dear.
I don't want to see him in a Chelsea shirt again. Like I said, he's not great. He's not great.
Oh. No, you can't say that, Simon. I need you to come on now. I'm smashed. He needs to come on.
Like the good old Thursday night shows.
Oh my God, yeah. We haven't done them for a while, have we? We need to do one.
You need a weekend to recover after your Thursday night.
I know. Free bar all day. What was that on Roman? Did he just get the checkbook out? That's probably what he earns in an hour, isn't it?
Yeah.
The whole event. Oh dear. Kids and beer. Anyway, back to the football. Matt, what kind of game are you expecting this to be? A very open game, or do you reckon this is going to be a tight affair?
Well, going by how the way Moyes has set us up recently, I'm expecting us to come out quite defensively, and Chelsea to dominate possession, which historically defending for 90 minutes has not always gone in our favour, So I think it comes down to who we play, our front four. I think that's the key issue. That I'm sure you're going to want to talk about that later or something. But I think that who comes up in the front position, obviously, I'm sure it's going to be Antonio. But the three behind him, I think, depending on who we select on the three behind Antonio, is going to have a big influence on the game. Because at the end of the day, with Chelsea in the form that they're in, I mean, Chelsea, you guys are on a win-win-win situation, So, I mean, we can't sit back. If you're beating the best teams day in, day out, we can't just sit back and defend against you. So, I mean, I'm expecting Chelsea to be a little bit cautious because we're kind of sharp on the counter-attack, But I do think that if Moyes comes out with a 5 at the back or a very defensive team, it's going to be tough to watch.
James, you sort of mentioned the draw. So if I offered you that now, you'll take it, yeah?
100%, mate. They're a well-oiled machine, Chelsea. Very good side. And we've got to respect them for what they are. They're top of the league. They've got some phenomenal players. And they are where they deserve to be because they've been the best team in the league at present. So, yeah, and especially the way we've been playing. The way we've been playing hasn't been great. So if someone said to me right now, you're going to get a draw, James, and move on, I'll take that 100%.
Yeah. So Darren, for a Chelsea fan, if I offered you the draw, is that not really acceptable for a Chelsea?
Not at all. We can't afford to even draw. Yeah. We can't afford to lose any points right now. Like I said, this festive period tells if you're a pretender in the title race or you're one of the top teams. Look at Liverpool in the 1920 season. They were beating Leicester 4-2 away. They were dominating games despite having back-to-back hard fixtures. Same with Man City last year. So if we really want to push for that Premier League title race and not just second or third, we can't afford to drop points to anyone right now, in my opinion. The Man United game really annoyed me because we should have won that game, apart from a stupid mistake. The Watford game could have been a banana peel again, but we managed to get out of that. So a draw is not acceptable for us. Simple as that. West Ham, I respect them to a lot. I think they've done so well to get top 4. But any team in the league, we can't afford to drop points right now. We need to keep winning, build some momentum, so that when our fit players, when our injured players come back, like Trevor Chalobah and Kovacic, we can just build an absolute title charge from there. So right now, it's just about getting the win. It could be difficult tomorrow. We could have times where we're difficult, we're under the cosh, we're clearing balls off the line, dealing with set pieces. As we know, you guys are great at set pieces. But right now, all I care about is the win. Even if we scrap out the game, all I care about is get the 3 points and just keep this title charge going. Because right now, with the injuries piling up and our lack of sharpness, it has the potential to unravel. And the Watford game was a key example of that.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a stat for you, which is obviously good for Chelsea. Chelsea have won their last 8 away London derbies in the Premier League, an all-time record in the top tier of English football. The Blues have kept 6 clean sheets in that run, with only goals conceded from Christian Benteke in April and the goal at Watford on Wednesday.
Christ.
James, how are we gonna score?
Good question, mate. We're going to have to maybe set pieces, though. Well, we are very, very good at set pieces. And I think if we get a chance at set pieces, we're going to have to take them. The only thing is, they're not bad at defending set pieces with the amount of bodies they're going to have in the box. So that's going to be interesting. We need a bit of luck. We need something to go our way. And we need to be very, very good at.
Do you reckon maybe a sending off because it's the London derby? Maybe.
The last couple of times, the last 2 times, I think it is. There's been sendings off.
We had Marriner sent off.
Yeah, I think someone got sent off in the 3-2. I think, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I can't remember.
There's a lot of bookings. Yeah, but
do you think that Balbuena foul was a red card? If you're looking back on it now, do you remember the red card where he kind of went into his leg and he followed through? You thought that was a red card? I saw worse. I think it sort of killed the game, but it'd be interesting to see a Chelsea perspective. Did you think it was a red? Well, my perspective, yeah. I'm sorry. I know it's controversial again, but it was just the way. People say that he couldn't put his foot anywhere else. It's just for me that he didn't really try and pull out, even when his studs were inside. There was a little bit of a delay in terms of moving his foot out, which for me, I thought was a red card. It was a very high tackle, and that's just how I think of it. He could have pulled his leg away a little bit when he was inside of his leg, but he just kept it in there a little bit. And I think straight away when that happens, you try and pull your leg away, but it was just the kind of studs digging in for a little bit. Don't you think it was a red?
No, definitely, mate. Right, so fucking hell, the comments are flying in tonight. All right, let's have a look. We're going straight into it, gents. This is going to be the next subject because Scott's gone in. I'm going for a 4-3-3 tomorrow, and Scott's team is Fabianski, Creswell, Diop, Zuma, Soufal, Rice, Lanzini, Souček, Benrahma, Bowen, and Antonio, with Fornells dropping out. James, would you be happy if Moyes put that team out?
It's an hard one, isn't it? Because Fornells, he's not my most favourite player, but he's hard working. He gets about the pitch, and you're going to need people like that. I think if he goes with that team, I think there'll be a lot of outcry. I think everyone wants Benrahma out for some reason, which I can't make no sense of. But if he does go with that team, this is not a bad team. It's a good three-man attack, I must admit. It really is.
Matt, what about you, mate?
Yeah, mate. I mean, to be honest, three in the middle with Rice and Souček and having Lanzini a bit deeper, maybe with the idea of having a stronger ball-playing midfielder a little bit deeper in the midfield. Only trouble is that I think Lanzini just needs to toughen up a little bit, and I think maybe,
so that'll be Crowell then. Crowell would be the obvious selection.
Yeah,
have that as a free, and then if I was going to do that, I'd have Benrahma, Bowen, and Antonio because you got the free.
Exactly, that's it. But I've given up talking about Crowell, mate, because I don't. It's like, where's Wally? I don't even know fucking idea where he's gone. Yeah. You just don't want to mention him. But I do, mate. I mean, number one there's just got to see whether Creswell actually does get through it, doesn't it? Last minute fitness test just to see. Because I think Johnson will have a tough time on the left-hand side against Reece James if Reece James is there. I mean, just he'll have to sort out his positioning. And like I was talking about with James the other day, for the love of God, can't fucking bring on Masuaku under any circumstances. You know what I mean? It's got to leave him on the team bus because if he puts him in at left back against this Chelsea team, that I think you've only lost to City this year. I think that's the only game you've lost, and I think we'll get hammered. So I'll be happy with it. But we need Antonio to pull his thumb out of his ass and put himself around. None of this. Not going to press because I'm looking after my hamstrings. Really get out there and go for it.
Cool. So, we've got a comment for you from Simon, mate. I'll put all the details in. I'll tag you in Twitter or something after, and then they'll be able to find you that way. Yeah, you got another follower, mate.
Thank you.
No worries. Oh, Scott's going in. That's not. There'll be a penalty tomorrow. Oh, what way would it go? Will Noble come off the bench and take the penalty again?
Please no. Please not.
Okay, Scott's saying it was never a red. Obviously, we're referring to that game last year. Simon's going Jorginho to get a yellow card.
Yeah.
Is that a good bet, Taryn?
Yeah, he always gets a yellow, and I think against if Bowen, like you said, if Lanzini or someone drops in the midfield, tries to get at him a little bit, we know he doesn't have the legs to keep up with 90% of the players in this league. So yeah, he does tend to just get yellow, but he's very smart at not getting a red. He'll get yellow early on, and then he'll be very, very leadership kind of qualities to kind of not get a red. So that's smart, and yeah. I just want to ask about Alex Crowell. I mean, I watched him at the Euros. I thought he was superb for Czech Republic. I thought he was one of the best players in that lineup alongside Souček, and I was interested in him from before West Ham even signed him. So, yeah, what kind of went wrong for Alex Crowell and West Ham?
It's not what really. I'll have Marseille first, and then I'll pass it to James and Matt. His debut was against Man United in the Carabao Cup, and he was absolutely outstanding. Probably one of the best players on the pitch. I've never seen a player carry the ball as much since. You're probably going to say it seems like a long time, probably since Scott Parker. Really, someone in the midfield who drives, and then didn't see him, but then he got COVID, so you sort of understand a big caution. And then he come on in Vienna for 15 minutes, probably one of the good sparks. No, in Genk, sorry, he played 8 minutes, but didn't really do much. And then he's featured in Vienna, and I want him to feature even when we're chasing closing out a game. Just bring him in to tighten the midfield, because. God forbid if we did get an injury, he needs to be. But I think he would be ready. But it would just be nice to feature him. James, do you want to add anything, mate?
No, I think everything that you've said is bang on. Crowell should have played more games this year. There's no two ways about it. There's been games this year where we've needed a third central midfielder, and he's sitting on the bench, and Mark Noble's playing games, and I don't understand that one. There's a bit of stubbornness there, or there's just no faith in Crowell in the Prem. So I don't know what it is, but he should have played a lot more games than he has.
Scott makes a good point there. We have 3 grafters in the middle. We don't need 4 now. I sort of I agree and I don't. Lanzini, I know he done Burnley. He played the full 90, I think, or 80 minutes or so, but he's not really played back-to-back games. I don't think he'll have that energy. But then I suppose you could bring Crowell on after an out and keep the system the same if it is going well. Matt, do you want to add anything, mate?
Yeah, just quickly, mate. I mean, I still hold by this. I thought when we brought in Crowell that he could be brought in as an understudy for Rice, because it is one of the inevitable things that there is a chance that we will lose him, and what he's about, I think he's about 6'2", maybe 6'3". He's got good height on him. He's in, like you said, in
long hair.
Sideshow Bob look. But for me, I saw him pick up a lot of interceptions. I liked it. He was good at picking out interceptions, intercepting well, and supposedly he can fit in and slot in at centre back if necessary. So that shows that he is defensively minded. Good positioning. I liked watching him, but he's just arrived, disappeared, got COVID, and then I remember maybe it was around the end of October. They, typical West Ham media put out a video. Crowell's on the comeback. Well, come back to where? The fucking dressing room or the training ground, or just, and we've just not seen him again. So it's disappointing. I think the key is, mate, going just quickly about passing the Chelsea game. If we don't see Crowell in the next the last European game that we've got, that's him written off. That he's just gone.
Yeah, Steve made that point. That if Crowell doesn't start on Thursday against Zagreb, then Moyes doesn't really rate him. That's interesting, like you said, to get another team's perspective, because I thought he had an amazing Euros, and when we were linked with him, I was like, that's a great a great thing to have. So, sorry, I know you've repeated this on James's show, Taryn, but obviously we've got more people in. Kurt Zuma, do you reckon, you sort of mentioned it, Lukaku, and if Lukaku starts, that'll be a good battle, won't it, in the defence versus attacker?
You can't really think of a more well-matched battle, in my opinion. You have the physicality, you have the reading of the game, you have the aerial duels. It just seems like such a tasty battle. One that you'd sit back, eat some popcorn and just enjoy that battle so much. But like I said, I don't predict Lukaku to start this game. I think he's only played 40 minutes in a month. So I don't think he'll be eased back in for such a competitive away game. I think next week home to Leeds when we'll see Lukaku's first start. This game, I just don't predict him to start. But yeah, if that does happen, Zuma and Lukaku, I believe, are friends as well. So that'll be a really, really tasty battle. Zuma up against his old club will be even more tenacious, even more trying to impress what kind of we've lost, even you can say it like that. I think against Lukaku, you can't really expect more of a challenge. The only thing I'd say is that Zuma's been very fit since he's come in. He's kept fit. He's played most games so far, but Lukaku's just coming off the back of a very, very serious, I believe it was a thigh injury. So there won't be the same levels of fitness. Zuma might get the edge if Lukaku does start. He'll just get there a second quicker and maybe win balls, win aerial duels more easily. But I don't think Lukaku will start tomorrow, so I don't think that's really a option.
James, no, what do you make of this comment?
Comment from two, absolutely aware that Declan Rice is a Chelsea boy, and he comes through the academy. He's very close to guys. Declan's an important member for the England team, so it speaks. Interesting, very interesting. But what can you do? Do you know what I mean? What can you do? I'm going to have to shoot Andy. I did private chat for you, mate. The phone's going mad because of what's going on. But listen, I think tomorrow's going to be tough. I think it's going to be a game where we're going to have to be on 10 out of 10 performance if we're going to get something out of this game. I do think we can get the draw. I don't think we can win. I'll be shocked if we win. If we beat Chelsea, the way Chelsea are playing, I'll be quite shocked. But if we can get amongst them early and get an early goal, we might be able to get something out of the game. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Nice one, James. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Take care, gentlemen. All the best. Tyron, all the best, mate. I'll catch up with you soon. Matt, too.
Yeah.
Bye, mate.
Taryn, have you got still some time, or do you need to shoot as well?
I can stay, mate. I can stay.
Cool, perfect. What do you make of these comments then? What he said, was you aware of them?
I wasn't actually, because it's kind of a section due after the one they post online, and it's kind of the journalists and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's completely true, to be honest. Yeah, he is a Chelsea boy. He was through our academy since same age as Mason Mount has come through, which was a long time ago. He's good friends with Reece James, good friends with Mason Mount. Obviously Abraham, but he's gone now. And basically all of our English kind of talents on our team, Declan Rice is friends with from the England setup. So yeah, our club is always in contact, not in contact, but always kind of twerking for Declan Rice, always saying stuff on Twitter, always kind of making comments about Declan Rice. But yeah, it's true. He didn't say too much about his interest in him, which is good. But we all know that Tuchel's interested in Rice. The club want to see Rice as one of our successors for Jorginho in the future. And I think Declan Rice will be a great successor because, like I said on James's channel, he has everything you need for a midfielder. And I think he is the heir to the throne of Jorginho when he decides to move back to Italy, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sorry, we sort of... Matt, before we get Taryn's view on the Chelsea lineup, what lineup do you expect tomorrow?
For West Ham or for Chelsea?
Yeah, for West Ham.
Fucking hell, mate. I mean, I would just... I'd hope we'd go and just not go 5 at the back. I mean, even though people say we've become predictable, we've been looking at our best with our 4-2-3-1. You know, I mean, whether you like it or not, we're going up against the best team in the league. Let's not complicate lives. I mean, the only decision for me would be to see whether Cresswell's fit enough. Hopefully he is. But a kind of fit Cresswell against Reece James or whoever they put a right back would worry me. But then again, Ben Johnson at left back would worry me as well because I don't think he's as good at left back as he is at right back. Maybe Soufal with his defending might be a better option there. Who knows? And then just to look at who we put behind Antonio. There's arguments that Lanzini deserves a shot for his performances, for the spark. I think that Benrahma has to be out on the wing if he starts because I think his decision making is not effective enough to be in the middle. I think Lanzini is the player that would need to play in the middle, to be honest, because I don't think either of Fornals, Bowen or Benrahma have that decision-making that could maybe unlock the Chelsea defence in the way that we want to. But, I mean, it's between those, and I just want to say, take fuck if Lukaku's not going to play, mate, because I remember having nightmares when he scored in 7 consecutive games for Everton against us.
11 in total. Including West Brom. And
seven consecutive games, mate. I remember it's just, Jesus. So, I mean, hopefully you stick out the same team as Watford because that was, Saul and a couple of guys in there. I mean, I would quite like to play up against that team. I think we've got a bit of a chance. But I think Tuchel's going to learn from his mistake against Watford. I don't think he put out the team that he should have done, And even though, I mean, you did the result, whatever, but I mean, I just don't think it was the performance it wasn't a decent performance, to be honest, compared to what you could do. You did a job, but against us, I mean, if we turn it on, like they've been saying, if that game is heated, we're talking about penalties, talking about meaty challenges, then you really need your best team out there. Otherwise, West Ham counter-attack or a set piece, like you said, Darren, you could come unstuck.
Taryn, do you want to add anything, mate, and then talk about the Chelsea team?
Yeah, I think that's correct. I don't think he'll go with anything near to that Watford game. Saul Niguez is definitely not going to start. If he does,
Damn it!
And we were saying when we stopped recording earlier, I could really rant about Saul Niguez now, but it's just not really worth it. Everyone knows what kind of player he is and how most Chelsea fans feel about him. So yeah, I don't think he'll start. In terms of what you guys said about Lukaku, didn't actually know that. It's quite interesting, but right now, he's not in his best state. He's not fit enough to play this game.
Just how good is he? Like I know, like from outside, I think he's world class. Like even at Man United, if you offered Man United deep down, I know they regretted selling him. But from a Chelsea perspective, just how good is he?
Yeah, you can see he's a world-class striker. It's what we with the missing piece of our puzzle that we were missing in the summer. We had a very, very high XG last season, but we didn't have enough goal scorers to finish off our chances. So the natural solution was to bring in one of the best strikers in Europe, which is what we did in Lukaku. It's just about unlocking him right now. We haven't got the best out of him. Not even 30% of what Lukaku, even 25% of what Lukaku can do so far. That Aston Villa game was good. He scored 2 goals. The Arsenal game, we all know how he sent Pablo Mari back to Spain. But in terms of he just hasn't done what his best so far. He's been too static, too lethargic, not fluent enough in the attack. And when we can unlock Lukaku, which will be very, very soon, he can be a 25 goal season player. And if we can get Lukaku's best form and get him playing right, I think the league title is basically secure, in my opinion. We just need to get that because we can score. We're conceding like barely any goals. We're just missing that really tenacious kind of clinical finisher in attack right now. And I think we'll be unstoppable. Yeah, Lukaku, his early signs were good, but we're nowhere near in terms of what he's done at Everton, what he's done at Belgium, what he's done sometimes for Inter Milan and Man United. He's nowhere near that right now, and it's scary to think how good we'll be when he's done that.
You know, definitely. So if you was Tuchel tomorrow, what team would you play, mate?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I mentioned before, Mendy in goal, Christensen in the middle of the back three. He was amazing against Watford. He was very good. Azpilicueta right centre back. We haven't seen that much, but I think Tuchel will go back to that first game. Silva needs a rest. He's kind of Chelsea have this thing in our terms of our fitness where we have different levels, like a traffic light system for our fitness of our players. And Silva's way past the red zone right now. He cannot play too many more minutes. He's 37 years of age, playing every 3 days. It's not natural. He's going to get a hamstring injury very soon. Left centre back Rudiger. Don't want to hear Malang Sarr shouts. Sal Niguez not starting for me tomorrow. Unfortunately for you guys, it's going to have to be Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek in the middle. Loftus-Cheek was poor against Watford. He was really bad against Man United as well. So I'm hoping for a bit of an increase in.
Are you surprised Ross Barkley's not playing? You'd think he'd be. What do you think of Ross Barkley?
Yeah, he's just too inconsistent, and his decision making is poor. Unfortunately, he's not good enough to play for Chelsea on a consistent basis. He will go.
Do you think he could play for West Ham?
Yeah, I think he could in terms of a cam position, not on the wings. I think he's quite creative, but yeah, he'd fit in. I don't think he's better than Fornals, even in my opinion. I think Fornals works better. He's more technical. And, Barkley doesn't have, I mentioned earlier on James Turner, he doesn't have some players don't have the attitude to be a top player. They have all the abilities and the capabilities, the skill set. But look at Dele Alli, for example. He's nowhere near the potential he could have been because of his work rate and stuff. So, yeah, not Barkley for me tomorrow. Alonso and Reece James. Reece James is back, as I mentioned before. And the front three, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, and Mason Mount. We have everything we need there to unlock West Ham. Pace, strength, dynamism, a bit of a whipping delivery from Ziyech, and everything we need because Ziyech and Reece James really link up well. Same with Mason Mount and Reece James. So it could be well. And yeah, I just got to say, I did actually have to shoot now, but thanks for having me on the channel. Really enjoyed to link up with all of you guys today. And yeah, good luck for the game tomorrow, guys. It's going to be a tough one, but yeah, we'll see.
Nice one, mate. Take care. See you later.
Bye,
see you
mate.
later, guys.
Matt, you're allowed to stay for a few more minutes, mate?
Yeah, mate, definitely. Yeah, I have permission.
Okay, cool. What's your score prediction for tomorrow, mate?
Christ, I'd love to say 1-1, mate. I would love to, but I've got that sneaky feeling that it could, like with Watford, mate, they could get a cheeky 2-1. You know what I mean? I would love to say 1-1. I would love to, but, I've got to be realistic, and I think that it could go into that 2-1. What about you, mate?
I'm saying 2-1 or 3-2 West Ham. I think the game's going to be. I actually think the game will be very, very open tomorrow. To be honest, I think.
Okay.
If Scott mentioned it earlier as well. Did you watch the Watford game, the Watford Chelsea game? Did you see how much they opened them up? And I think we've got more clinical. I know it hasn't in the last couple of games, but if we had them opportunities, I think we will score. And I think Zuma will score tomorrow. I've just got that feeling as well.
Well, I mean, I think it's what Tuchel is doing. I mean, if you've got guys like Loftus-Cheek in the centre midfield, it's going to open up, because they're not defensively minded players, So I think that's one of the things. I think Loftus-Cheek is actually surprising me because I remember Jazz always talks about how poorly the Fulham fans rated him, because when we were talking about signing him at one point. But it seems under Tuchel, he seems to be a little bit reinvigorated at some point, you know. But at the same way, like you say, they are a lot more open, and it depends, mate. If we could, West Ham, it just comes whether we're clinical or not. You know what I mean?
But I said this on my fan cam with Nicky. He said it wouldn't surprise me if we beat Chelsea and then lose to Burnley. It would be so West Ham. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would, mate. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we'll end up doing Chelsea, solid performance, and then just like we do after the international breaks, just not show up, and we'll do that against Burnley.
No, definitely. Right, Matt, what we're going to do is this will be quick. This will be the last 10 minutes because me and Jazz normally do this when we do the thingy show, is we preview all of the Premier League games.
Oh, perfect.
So just a little score prediction on how you think they'll go. I'm just going to get them up on the screen now for everyone. I will zoom in so people can see them a lot better. So obviously we've just mentioned our game. Obviously we're the early game, and what did you go for? 1-1, did you say?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, cool. No problem. Newcastle Burnley. Obviously Newcastle still not won a game. Obviously Burnley unfortunately had their game called off because I really did think they'll beat Tottenham after their loss. How'd you see that one go, mate?
Fucking, I would love to. I can see Newcastle getting something out of it finally. I think I can see
win.
I can see a 2-1 Newcastle here but I know Burnley need to win because they're on that bridge now. If they lose and don't win this one, and Watford or Saints or Leeds pick up points, that gap's going to start opening up at the bottom. You know, it's going to get to like 3-4 points. So I know it's important for Burnley, but I think I've got faith in Eddie Howe. I don't think he's the saviour. I don't think he's going to save him, but I just think that maybe 2-1 Newcastle. Home support will bring them through.
I'm going the opposite to you. I'm actually going for a 2-1 Burnley win. I don't think Newcastle will win tomorrow.
Perfect, mate.
And I don't want them to win. I want them to go down.
Yeah.
Don't like them. Never have done. Long way to go for an away day. Keep them all local.
Yeah.
So this one's obviously a bit of a tough one. Obviously Brighton still without a win in 9 Premier League games, but I think it's 6 draws within that. Only 3 defeats, and obviously Southampton have hot and cold. How'd you see that one go, mate?
Yeah, I think that's one of that's a big derby for them as well. You know, all of those teams like Bournemouth, Saints, Brighton. That's like a triangle of derbies there. So I know that's going to be a big one for those guys. Like you said, mate, Brighton piss poor form, but Saints as well. Like you said, you know, they're just hot and cold. I mean, got that draw against Leicester, which might mean that they can turn it around after. I was surprised that they lost to Norwich. That was the one that really surprised me for Saints. But I don't know. I've got faith in Saints. I think what's his name, Hessenthal will bring them through. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Saints there.
Okay, I'm gonna be boring now. I'm going for a 0-0. I can't see them quality apart from obviously Mopé, what a finish that was. But apart from that, they don't really look threatening. And when unless they get a set piece or something, I can't really see Southampton scoring.
Well, yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, it's cool. Comes down to they've got some guys Armstrong, haven't they? Che Adams. Excuse me.
People in the chat as well. If you want to get involved, let us know. Obviously, write the teams because we might have skipped. Let us know what predictions you think as well. So we move on, Matt. This game's very interesting. I think this one's really hard to call. Wolves Liverpool. How'd you see that one going?
I'm gonna be bold here, mate. I'm gonna go 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0. Okay.
I'm gonna go really bold there. I think this is a massive game for Liverpool, mate. You know, because it's a huge one. Because I think Man City have got Watford, like we can see there. Chelsea might pick up points against us, so I think Liverpool are going to really turn it on. And I think even though Wolves have started to come back a little bit, haven't they? They've started to pick up after a slow start. They've been grinding out wins. You know, Newcastle, Villa, us, unfortunately. But I mean, the last 2 games, I don't know if you've seen, they drew against Norwich and Burnley, mate. They were quite average, to be honest.
If you look, really, I think it's like if you look at Man United and Brentford, when they've beat us, they've gone on really shit runs in the Premier. It's like they beat us, and it's like a curse,
with
isn't
a bogey.
Yeah, no, definitely. Mandy's actually calling 1-1 Wolves. She thinks.
But Mandy, did you see them against Norwich and Burnley? I mean, they were 0-0.
But have you seen us against Brighton? If we've known us, we beat Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
But I
definitely.
mean, in the Norwich game, mate, they only had about 4 shots on
Oh,
target.
did
And I think
they?
Norwich had about 15 or 20. It was really grim, mate. It was a really bad game for them. And the same thing, the opposite happened against Burnley. It flipped over. Wolves had a ton of chances and just couldn't put in the goal.
Right, obviously you sort of mentioned it. Watford, Man City. I think I know what you're going to go for, but I'll let you carry on, mate.
another 3-0.
You think,
No,
yeah?
well, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit. Yeah, I'd say I'm going to go 2-0 here.
2-0, yeah. Well, obviously, I've not really spoken to you since the Man City game. Obviously seeing them live and how much they actually keep the ball. Obviously, Gundogan's a great talent, and the fact that they beat us without De Bruyne and Foden, I dread to think what the score would have been. But the one player I think goes under the radar and doesn't get the credit he deserves is Jesus for them.
I think that he's still under the shadow of Aguero. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things. I think that there's just that niggling comparison, and I mean, for fuck's sake, it's Sergio Aguero. You know, he's one of the best strikers that's ever graced the Premiership. You know, you can put him alongside Thierry Henry. You know, arguably between the both of them, who's better? And he's a great player, Jesus. He really is. And apart
He's
from
still young,
Jesus,
mate. He's only like 23, 24, I think, still, isn't
yeah,
he?
I think so, mate. And he's a really good player. You know, I mean, he's stocky, he's fast, he's good. And the other guy that I really like coming through, mate, and I really like him is Ferran Torres. I think that guy. What is he still like 20, 21? I think he seems like he's got a really good head on him, mate. And I think he's going to be. And I mean, poor guys like, for example, Mahrez, you know, that's just not getting the game time, and Sterling that they want. But like you said, mate, the quality's all over the place. You know, I mean, where do you find a weak point in the Man City team in any position that you can't really double up? You know, I mean, the only thing that I don't know, mate, because it's just the quality is just so good. But we know that sometimes Pep's over tinkering does kind of unbalance them, and that's kind of where you've got a chance to get in and get a result, I think.
Mandy's going 4-0 City. Do you know what I'm going for?
What?
I'm going for 6-0.
Jesus, mate.
I think they're
You
going
think
to rip.
smash them?
Look what Liverpool done to them, mate,
Yeah.
about a month ago, and they didn't.
Watford are poor, mate.
And they've got 2 ex-West Ham players, Ashley Fletcher and Ngakia. What signings?
But they are poor, mate. They just look poor. I mean, I feel bad for Watford. I always like the London clubs to stay up, you know, or the clubs around London to stay up. But I mean, Jesus, I think Watford are really in trouble, mate. I mean, I do think that they're in trouble. I really do think that they are. Like we talked about the ones at the bottom, mate. I mean, if Burnley get a result and Watford gets smashed, Burnley are really, really going to be in trouble, you know, because it's just that little gap between the bottom 3 and Watford that's maybe giving them that little bit of confidence. Yeah. But if that gap erodes, without a doubt, Watford are going to get sucked in and they're going to be at massive risk.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Leeds, oh, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was about to say, we need Brentford to get sucked in. We need Brentford to get sucked in because we want Rico Henry and Ivan Toney.
Yeah, no. So talking of that, obviously that's a bit of a... Brentford are on a bit of a slide as well after their great start. Obviously beating us. I don't think they've won since they've beat us. Obviously Leeds have got ton injuries. I didn't realise just how key Bamford is for them.
Massive, mate.
But I'll tell you a player I would love from them is Rafinha. What a player he is.
Gee, mate, I've watched Leeds since they're in the Championship because I do follow Marcel Bielsa a lot. Yeah. Not because I think he's the ultimate god that everyone says. People say they love him or they hate him, but I do like style of football. And yeah, mate, you're right. Rafinha is another class. He really. Did you see that penalty? That confidence that he took for that penalty. and that's going to be a massive game, mate. I mean, if Brentford can't get a result there against Leeds, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble because it's just going to continue their slide down. And I mean, I would love Rafinha, mate, but I have that feeling that he's going to go maybe to, like when Diego Jota went to Liverpool. I've got that. He just comes across as that kind of signing that Liverpool might, pick up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Night, Steve, mate. Take care.
Take care,
Speak to
mate.
you later.
Take care. Bye, mate. You know when they picked up Shaqiri from Stoke.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that kind of signing that they could do.
Yeah. No, I sort of see what you're saying. I could see Salah moving into the central striker. And Rafinha going in the middle. I think that Fabinho will probably go back to Brazil or something like that. Firmino, I mean.
Yeah.
But
that's going to be a tough one, mate.
So, Carrick's gone after the result he got last night. And Crystal Palace, who seem to get results at Old Trafford over recent years. But how do you see that one going, mate?
Oh, you know what? I really like what Vieira's done with Palace. I think that you can
Gallagher,
see...
what a player.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, you're right. You are right. I really like the way that Vieira's come in and imposed his philosophy. Obviously, Roy Hodgson did a great job on a very small budget and everything. I'm disappointed with Zaha, mate. I think that Zaha is very, very at risk of missing the boat with his career, and getting stuck if he doesn't get out of Palace, because not being great. And like you say, he's being overshadowed by people like Gallagher and even people like Benteke. He's not having a bad year for him. And it's nice to see, a couple of ex-West Ham players in there with Kouyaté and Tompkins. And I think that they're going to, even though Carrick's gone, mate, I think they'll build on that result. And I think that Man United will take the victory. I think that could be a 2-1.
Okay. Shit, I didn't. Did you say your prediction for the Leeds game?
I didn't, mate. With that one, I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
2-0 Leeds. I am going to go for a 3-1. I think Ivan Toney will score, but I think Leeds will just have enough to beat them. The Man United game. Yeah, I can. Actually, I'm going to go for 2-2. Okay. I think it'll be a draw.
Why's that? What do you think?
You mentioned him now. I think Zaha and Gallagher. Man United will going to go out and try and get a good first impression, but I think they'll come unstuck, especially on the counter attack. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-2.
If Fred's playing and standing on the foot of the goalkeeper again, maybe they'll have a chance.
I know. He does Antonio's job.
Well, you know what? For me, De Gea was at fault for that because he was trying to get a foul out of it. Little did he know, he should have just got on with it and got up and continued because he didn't even realise it was his own player.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. There we go. Mandy's saying 3-0 Man United because it's the first. Yeah, and 3-2 Leeds. God, that'd be a good game to watch. That is.
I could imagine that as well, though. Mandy, I can imagine that happening.
Yeah. I hate to say it, Spurs Norwich. How'd you see that one going, Matt?
Christ, mate. Spurs. I don't know if it's actually true, but I think it's Spurs is win, lose, win, draw, win, lose, win, lose. I mean, they just seem so up and down. To be honest, Norwich have actually started to pick up a little bit over the last.
I'm a huge fan of Dean Smith, Matt. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you like him.
Yeah,
what is it you like it about him?
It's just his no nonsense, and I think he was hardly treated badly at Villa. To be honest, I think he would have got him out. Like they've used a couple of bad results. Like if anyone, that's like Grealish losing Grealish, and I didn't really mind Villa, but the treatment what they gave to Grealish the other night, I think that's a disgrace.
Oh, and terrible. I mean, I think it's terrible, mate. I mean, okay, I think what was it? They lost 5 in a row. Okay, but they're back up to 13th now, mate. So I mean, it's not like right now. It's not like time to panic. And like you said, I think that he had enough in his back pocket, Dean Smith, to get him out of that situation. So I do feel sorry, and you can see, mate. Look at how they are now. They've got 2 wins. They picked up wins against Brentford and Saints, I think, and the last 2 games against Wolves and the last one was Newcastle. Sorry, they picked up a point. So I mean, they're
What a
starting
goal
to put.
from Pookie as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, Pookie on form is like with Mope, isn't he? He's one of those guys that will absolutely score a screamer, won't he? But then he'll be absent and non-existent for about 2 or 3 games. But
No.
I would like to see a stoic Norwich in this game, and I think Spurs are not. I don't think Conte's got his grips on the team like you'd like to. So I could see a 1-1 here, 1-1 Spurs Norwich, or
Okay, cool. I'm actually going for 1-1 as well, Matt, on that one.
yeah.
And Mandy's going, Norwich are a lot tougher, but it wouldn't surprise me. Spurs nick it 1-0. Take a deflection off a goalkeeper or flipping something like that, like they did the other day. Obviously, the last game, which is live on Sky Sports Super Sunday, 4:30 kickoff, Midlands derby, Aston Villa, Leicester. Steven Gerrard, obviously two fantastic results. How it's going? Is he going to get 3 wins out of 3, Matt?
If it was Leicester about 8 games ago, 5 to 8 games ago, I would say yes, because Leicester had that really rough patch where they looked a little bit off key, didn't they?
Yeah.
But Leicester are starting to get good again. They had a good game against Watford, and they got a point against Saints last game. So I don't know. I again, mate, I think that can be a draw. But right now, I'm absolutely shocked with the amount of goals that Leicester are conceding. I think it's especially with
Fofana's a big miss, isn't he?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I think you're absolutely right, mate. It was really sad, and Fofana was one of those guys that I thought we might have got, and I would have really liked to have got him, But you are 100% right, mate. Fofana, and for a guy that's only 21 years old, to say he's a big miss, I mean that shows really how important he is and what a potential talent he is for the future, But they're just shipping goals all over this place, mate. I mean, it's not like we're used to with Leicester, so I can imagine that. I think that will come out as a 2-2, mate. I'm going to go for 2-2 there.
I'm actually going for a. Sorry, I'll get Mandy's one up first. Mandy's going for a 3-1 Villa win. Don't fancy Leicester turning up. I'm actually going for a 3-1 Leicester win. I think with Gerrard being there, I think they'll want him to go out and attack, and I think Daka, Vardy, Barnes can cause some damage to him on the counter. I think
so much quality, mate.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for a 3-1 Leicester.
Perfect.
And the last game to finish the week is Everton. Fantastic Everton. Great, what team they are at the minute. But if you had to pick, I know, under Rafa.
Yeah,
How'd you see this game going? Obviously, we were lucky the other night. Arsenal could have overtook us, but we're still because of obviously the result last night. But do you see just an Arsenal win in this one, mate?
No, I don't, mate. I think Arsenal have a lot of issues. Continue to have a lot of issues, mate. I've got a lot of Arsenal fans who are mates, a lot, mate, and I just don't understand. I mean, just going from
what about Aubameyang liking Ronaldo's pose yesterday?
Yeah, but it just shows how Aubameyang is and all that messing around he would do with the Arsenal fan TV guys. Nothing against him. Not saying nothing against him, but I think the guy at his age needs to focus on his football, because at the end of the day, when you're playing up front as a lone striker, you need to be, in and around the box getting goals, and he's just not. And I mean, if you look at him, mate, I mean, Odegaard, I don't care what anyone says, far too slow for the Premier League. Don't like Odegaard. I don't think he's worth the money that they paid for him. I think he's a Scandinavian Freddie Adu that was a wonder kid that just never made it. I mean, Tavares on the left back, I like his energy, but there's a lot of space behind him, and look how Man United took advantage of that. And I just think I like Gabriel and Ben White combination. I think that's okay, but they're just marking is so poor, mate. But then you look at Everton, like you say, mate, and Everton are piss poor as well. So God,
yeah, like Mandy's going for a boring 1-1 draw.
Yeah. There's got to be goals in it, because both of them are just all over the shop right now when it comes to defending, and I think just Everton can be a bit toothless, if Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison, Damari Gray, which are their usual people, are not on form or suffering from injuries. I don't think
they really didn't turn up the other day, did they?
No, I don't think. And if they bring on guys like Rondon and Toussaint I don't think they've got the firepower to get it in there, mate. But I'm really surprised about the defence of Everton because, I mean, you've got guys like Mina, and you've got, what's his name, Digna, and you've got Michael Keane and Godfrey. I mean, you've got good defenders there, but they just don't seem to be able to get it right, do they? I mean, it's just a weird one. But, I mean, to shut up and say what I think, Christ, I don't know, mate, because fucking Watford put 5 past them, didn't they? I'll go 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to agree with Mandy. I'm going to go for 1-0. I think this game's going to be really fucking boring, to be perfectly honest.
yeah. I don't know, mate. Everything just shocking, mate.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah. But no, it's been nice to catch up with you, Matt. Like I said,
Yeah.
every week show we try and do this. We just do a little preview, just do something different. Obviously, talk about the fixtures, the people close to us, and stuff like that. Hopefully, you're around. I think we'll probably be doing it maybe Sunday morning. So,
Perfect,
well, no,
mate.
that's too early for you, isn't it? Probably might do it Sunday night actually, so you can come on. Well, I'll speak to Jazz and we'll pencil it in. I'm out during the day, but we'll probably come on, or maybe do an instant match reaction or something. We'll do
Perfect,
something
mate. Yeah.
tomorrow,
Yeah.
but we'll
I'm
let you know.
around.
Yeah,
I'm around this weekend.
Yeah,
So,
Mandy, thanks for your contribution in the chat. Obviously, we had Taran, we've had James on as well. Gone on a little bit longer than what I expected. I'm not going to lie, but that's what I love about it being on the StreamYard. It can go from one length to the other. Good luck tomorrow. Thanks, Matt, and thanks, Mandy. Means a lot. Final thoughts, Matt. You've said it. As it changed since we've done the preview, what's your final score for tomorrow, mate?
Yeah, mate. I'm going to stick it. I'm going to go with 1-1, bordering on that 2-1 Chelsea in a worst case. By the first half, I think I'll be able to make my judgment there.
So it's half 12 kickoff. What time is it over there?
6:30, mate. But I'm up by that. I'm up early. I've got that internal clock of I wake up.
I remember you saying.
4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, mate. So I'll be up, have my coffee, get myself ready. My girls will come down and probably watch it with me, and hopefully we'll win because, like I was saying, my grandfather, a lifelong West Ham fan, passed away.
Yeah, no.
Unfortunately.
My condolences, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I appreciate it. He was a Silvertown boy, lifelong West Ham fan, So we couldn't get the result on the day that unfortunately passed on Brighton, but he did always like to beat Chelsea, like I guess most of us do. So wouldn't mind the result in his honour.
No, definitely, mate, 100%. But Matt, thanks very much for your time. Thanks for everyone in the chat. It means a lot. And if you are watching this back on the rerun, you never know. You might be watching this on your way to the London Stadium tomorrow. I hope this keeps you entertained. If you are new around here, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe. It really does mean a lot. And yeah, we'll be back for our post-match, or you never know, me and Jazz might do an instant match reaction straight from the London Stadium. You never know with Jazz. But I hope everyone enjoys their weekend. Hopefully West Ham win. And one thing left to say is,
come on, you irons.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, mate.